Dang, what's up, everyone? Serge, been a long time, dude. Good to see you back. Well, I guess you're glad to see I'm back, too, so. Nah, man, thanks for joining in. And is that Nathaniel, buddy? What's up, dude? Yes, man. Been a long time. I'm doing pretty good, dude. Had a lot of stuff going on these last couple months, just trying to get the business stuff ready. I was working on my flashcard system and such, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, dude. Oh, hell yeah, man. Thank you so much. And Nicholas, glad you could join in again, dude. I'm excited for some drum lessons this weekend. But yeah, what's everyone up to? How's everyone been? It was a long summer for me as well. Kids out of school and whatnot. What's everyone working on? How's everyone's drumming going? Do some little accent and double bass right now. I'm kind of feeling nice and warmed up. We'll push the tempo up as always. As we get to the end of the stream, I'm going to raise that tempo up. We'll start playing some crazy fast rolls and blast beats and double bass and whatnot, you know? You know, as I got into playing more double bass, I love accenting the double bass at slow grooves. I think it really kind of emphasizes a lot more than just your straight up. Really like it. And Nicholas, you got your drum set, dude. I'm hella excited for you, bro. I can't wait to see it, man. Send me some pictures and whatnot. We'll help you get it set up, too. And yes, playing the new Call of Duty, bro. Oh, man, I haven't played Call of Duty in so long. I had Modern Warfare 2 from last year, and I was playing on the PC, man, and I was just so, like, twacked out playing, like the free-for-all and whatnot. And, dude, it was, like, giving me a headache because I was, like, so, like, hardcore focused and, like, all those quick movements and such. But I miss playing it, dude. And, yeah, I'm glad you got the notification, dude. I'm glad you came to join in again. And what is that? Kites? I'm going to call you Kites. I think that's right. And then I'll play some blast beats and some double bass if you want, but I don't typically do covers on here just for monetization and copyright issues. But I will definitely play some blast beats, anything you're into. You know, throw me some ideas, whatever you want. Alexander, what's up, dude? nice. That's the way I'd play if double bass. Yeah, dude. I think that's the best way to go with the double bass, man, is accents, man. And what I'll do is a little quick demonstration, but I'll get into it more later when we get into the flashcards that I'm talking about, because I base my double bass off of traditional drum beats. So if you have, we could kick that same accent and go. You know what I mean? And Surge and in Russia, YouTube is bad now. I watch it in very poor quality because the other one is. What's going on with the internet there? Are they trying to ban YouTube or something? Or is it just the internet's messing up, Surge? Yeah, that sucks, because I know you don't have any of the other platforms out there in Russia either, dude, because I'm trying to get to streaming to some other ones here eventually. Oh, yeah, Alexander, doing pretty good too, bro. You working on anything on the drums? The last of Fast Song? What is that, the last of Fast Song? Dropping sticks already. And Serge, you been playing drums lately, dude? I'm gonna play a little bit. I'm a little warmed up. We're gonna push the tempo up just a little bit, so I'm hitting that 180 range. So for Kitey's out there, Alexander, I'll play some fast stuff for you. And by the way, every time I drop into a new tempo, I always warm up with some simple like 8th note positions before we blast into the faster 16th notes or 30 seconds, however you want to consider it. But just kind of getting a nice, just getting the muscles warmed up to that twitch at the fast tempos. Yeah, Yaz. Yeah, I used to be in a band way back when. Nothing beyond the local level. Started getting to that point where we were opening up for some larger name bands that were coming through, and then, you know, same as any old ever band, just breaks up. You know, that's what happened. We released a couple of self-released albums with my first band. Band broke up after that. Then we released another album with my second band. Band broke up after that. So I decided to go my own road here. What about you, Yaz? You playing in a band at all? And then we have our own. That sucks, dude. Is there a way to Surge, you can't even watch from the internet, like actually like on an actual PC, or do you only have to use your phone? Because I'm wondering if maybe like direct into the, plugging into the wall outlet for your drumming or for your internet would work better. That's what I do for the live stream so there's less lag and such. Ah, man. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Yaz. So do you play it all, though? Because I know you're talking about you would if you played double bass. I'm trying to remember if you played, I think you said you play single bass maybe. But yeah, I actually miss going to shows. I got lucky enough recently to go to see Ginger, which Ginger's freaking badass. They're a band out of Ukraine. And dude, their show was so good. They play like such odd technical stuff, but man, they were on point and smooth, like very professional. And then weirdly, I got taken to see Lenny Kravitz here in Las Vegas, and that was my first mainstream show, honestly. I'm used to going to metal and such, but that was a phenomenal show, seriously. Like, he came out with a bang, dude. Like, I was indoors. I wasn't expecting fire in my face and whatnot, but he came out with a freaking bang, really hitting it. He's a performer. And seriously, like, the live show was so good with the LEDs. Every song had a theme to it. It was really engaging the whole way through. Yeah, has you ever thought about getting a little E-kit again? I feel like I'm about to get a little E-kit for nighttime practice because I'll have to show you guys one day my practice kit. It looks exactly like my drum set here, but it's all pads and plastic cymbals. I really like the plastic cymbal. Sorry, I'm moving the camera a tiny bit here. I like the plastic sounds and the pads when I'm practicing because I can hear all my flaws and things that aren't hitting at the same time and whatnot. So that's how I've developed most of it. It's like my workhorse kit, you know? And then I come on here and I start kind of making more musical ideas. What's everybody doing for the holidays? I know, well, we only do Thanksgiving here. I'm not a big Thanksgiving fan per se here, but what's everyone doing for Christmas? Everyone getting prepped for that? Anybody doing some traveling? Yeah, no, dude, you can find some good deals on Facebook and OfferUp and all that stuff. That's how I found most of my stuff, honestly. Oh hell yeah, dude. Dude, I know I got some school stuff coming up with my kids. They're gonna be doing some get-togethers and whatnot. I'm excited for them. I like all the Christmas stuff and everyone's baking and sending stuff home. How old's your daughter, dude? Mine's 7 years old, and then I got a 9-year-old son. All right, some turkey. What about some stuffing, dude? I feel like I go the opposite route. I started making steaks and I make like potato cakes and stuff like that with asparagus. That's my Thanksgiving meal instead of the traditional turkey. Oh, hell yeah, dude. It's kind of like the same spread as mine. That's cool, dude. My son's the older one, daughter younger. They're crazy, dude. All right, Nicholas. Keeping it simple, right? Make them come to you so you could just chill and keep playing your drums, all right? Actually, I feel like I should get like the family, gonna record like a little live performance, get everyone in my room, and do a whole little video. I'm gonna warm up to this new tempo. We're gonna push a little bit here. I'm at 192. No, dude, I have not been to the Sphere yet, bro. Like, the Eagles are playing there right now. But dude, tickets for the Sphere are freaking expensive. And Lenny Kravitz was playing at the Dolby Theater inside Park MGM, which, dude, was a really cool venue. And like I said, his performance was cool. And then he even did he got off the stage and walked around the entire arena through the crowd as like the finale of the show. And dude, the band was badass, and the chick on drums was just kicking those beats so strong. Like, she was like a freaking metronome, hardcore, like was like on point the whole way through. Such a good show. So what's some favorite shows you guys have seen? You've seen your favorite bands and whatnot. Mine's Meshuggah, by the way. I'm a Meshuggah fanatic. I love the polyrhythmic stuff. And has anybody got some shows coming up? I'm trying to figure out who's on tour, what I can see here in the next month or so. Ow. I haven't got too much into Polyphia. They got some cool stuff, but never really like clicked with it, I guess. And Nicholas, I know you said you like some Sleep Token, right? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really listened to Sleep Token though either, and I'm trying to up my change some stuff to listen to, get some new music and some different bands. Funny enough, these days I listen to a lot of jazz and jazz piano. Serge, what bands, dude? Because when I saw Ginger, there was a Japanese. I wouldn't even say they were metal. It was more so like a rockish thing, but it was a Japanese Hanabi. That's what it was. And then very familiar with Baby Metal, dude. The band behind Baby Metal is freaking badass. Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to Sleep Token. There's a lot of hype around them, and I haven't really checked them out, give or take a couple of riffs and songs that I've heard. Doesn't anybody else, like, sometimes when you're trying to listen to new bands, they don't click right away? You have to almost like force yourself to listen to them to understand the music and such. So like, even when I hear like one of my favorite bands come out with a new album, sometimes it takes me a month or two to really like appreciate it all the way, because it's like they try to change something they did and you almost have to grasp the idea of it. Trident, Neki, and Bandmade. I have to check those out, dude. The Japanese stuff's got some crazy stuff. Sometimes they got some way odd. Damn, somebody kept doing this one day on Twitch, and they kept throwing some crazy Japanese metal covers for me, and it was like such odd stuff. I was like, bro, it was like weirder than Animals as Leaders, I would say. You know what I mean? Couldn't follow it for nothing. Yes, I could not follow them. It was some serious, like, constant odd time changes, and then by the time you finally catch the riff, they would change it again, and it's just like, okay, cool, next on, or move to the next one. I just feel like that's turning into a thing, by the way. It's like people are trying to be as odd as they can, you know what I mean? But June, I have to check it out, dude, Serge. I'm always looking for some new drummers, something interesting and different these days. By the way, the best way to check your double strokes, this is my little trick that I like to do, is playing on the hi-hat. I like to get to the end of it where there's barely any rebound. Everyone's heard the playing on pillows idea with double strokes to strengthen them and such. I think the pillow's a little drastic to some degree, but I think this is my trick. Well, I'll start at the top of my hi-hat, and then I'll start working my way down to the edge of the hi-hats, and then I'll loosen my foot a little bit so that it has a little bit of a wiggle to it. And if you can keep your double stroke strong at that bottom end of the hi-hat with a loose, you got a strength to that double stroke aspect. So we'll go like this. Really get that snap on that back end, that second stroke. So when you hear people talk about double strokes and you hear them talk about accenting the second stroke, I feel it's more of not an accent but a control to make the stroke with no rebound. So instead of going like, which kind of, you could start at a slow tempo for that idea, but it's more about controlling that second stroke and not relying on rebound. And when I teach drummers to play in the early stages, I do not rely on rebound one single bit. I actually find it's a bit of a fault to rely on rebound too early on. We wouldn't actually control the stick as much as possible. Control the rebound itself, because I don't want it to fly up here. Sometimes I want it to drop and stay there. So then you get those softer hits and such. Takes a lot of control in the hands, but that second stroke, instead of accenting, we could start slow like this. Okay? And as you start speeding it up, you lose that accent. So I think in the early stages, yeah, you can, just to get the idea of controlling that second stroke instead of doing the typical bounce on the double strokes, where a lot of people do that, and you get this really wishy-washy sound. But when you okay, but yeah, we pushing about 203 on the metronome right now. I'm gonna kind of get some double basses and blast beats going. I like when I get to this tempo, it's just fun to keep that energy rolling. All right, before I forget, I wanted to tell everyone about my flashcards that I created. So anyone out there who's trying to learn the drums and you're kind of in that beginner to intermediate level, this is an interchangeable set of flashcards that once you start learning the beats, even from lesson one, the first couple of cards, we're going to be able to start mixing and matching those cards in different orders to help you develop creativity and start understanding how to use the drum beats that you know how to play. And it'll teach you how everything can be interchangeable and how we can just shifting little bits of notes to create new phrasings and such. And the cool thing about these is that every card is able to be mixed and matched with any card in the set, whether it's that first drum beat that you learned, which is the king of all beats. The first drum beat you ever learn is this. It could be combined with the last card in this set, which we start getting into some 16th note snare drum placements as we play the grooves. And I'm actually going to pull it up here real quick so you can get a look at what the cards look like. And they are available on Amazon, so you can get them with your Prime membership real quick, real easily. So that's a 2-measure phrasing there. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Yes, I got you, bro. So let's just start at the top. Those are just some 2-measure phrasings I'm going to go over here in a minute. But all the cards are color-coded on the back, so you know which lesson you're at, right? So we got some blue, or red, blue, and then we get to orange for lesson 3 and such. All right, and it kind of goes all the way through, but we'll get to those later lessons. But just looking at the first card here, I use color-coded lines to connect the counts to each beat, right? So when learning the drums, I always recommend counting out loud because it's going to connect the mind and the body to the correct placement of the notes. So what we do is we connect the bass drum here with a red line, and then we connect the snare drum with a blue line. And when we count, we want to accent those counts a little bit with our voice. So instead of just going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we want to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And what this is going to do is going to emphasize that point in your brain to know that we need to hit something, okay? So let me show you. Very simple, and that's the beat that I was talking about. This is the first card in the set, and we build from here. So just simple. Okay? So, okay, and then what we do, if we look, we're compounding the idea from one card to the next, and we're compounding the one lesson into the next lesson. So we got lesson 1 gets combined with lesson 2, and we start stacking all the concepts all the way into lesson 7. So what we do is with each beat, we add something new to something we already know how to play. So we know how to play this drum beat, but if we look at card 2, we just added that kick drum to the and of 3. It's a very simple change. We know how to play that. Or just adding that extra note. And this is one of the most common drum beats that you've heard it in every single song in the whole world. So it goes like this. Okay. Hey, what's up, drummer? Thanks for joining in, dude. We're just talking about my Xgroove Flashcard System. And by the way, the cards open like a book, and it comes with a QR code that you can scan that'll take you to a full video playthrough of every card in here, as well as videos of some demonstrations of how I mixed and matched the cards from one lesson to the other. So we'll mix lesson 2 with lesson 1, then we'll list lesson 3 with lesson 6. So you get a lot of variations. And on top of that, you have PDF printouts for recommended practice routines so that you can stay on a structured path for growth. Usually we work in 3 beats and 1 new drum fill with each set of lessons, I would say, because each video is 3 beats, 1 fill. And I recommend that, and if you want to progress faster than that, go for it, but usually not to overwhelm you. We just do a couple of beats, learn something new, and then we progress to the next set. And on top of that, in the lesson course, you get a 13-page PDF ebook that helps guide you through the difficulties in each lesson with the new techniques that we're learning. And it'll teach you how to play your first drum beat if you do not know how to play that drum beat. I'm also going to be putting together some extra videos within that lesson course. It's going to help you help guide you through some of these struggles as well and help you learn your first drum beat. Some of which are already on my YouTube channel, the similar ideas. Okay, but if we look at this real quick, we have this card. Like I said, you know how to play this first beat. Second card, we added the kick drum to the and of 3. Now, if we go into the third card, we're going to add the kick drum to the and of 1. So you're basically playing the same thing just on the front end of the thing. So you already know how to play it. We're just shifting where it is. Okay? And yes, Nicholas, dude, seriously, you've been kicking butt on the drums. And yeah, I love that you use the cards, dude. They're really helping you progress, man. And every time I come with you, you're progressing a step every week. You know what I mean? So, dude. And how do you like the video course, by the way? Is that helping you with understanding the stuff that you're supposed to be practicing? So I know when we're not in our actual lessons and I'm not there to reiterate the things, I hope that lesson course helps you understand each and everything you're supposed to do, is kind of reiterate that position, you know, in the counts and such. All right. So, okay, again, then when we shift here, we're shifting to the 4th beat, but we're kind of taking a little different approach. I base this off of the second card here, right? So we're playing on the kick drum on the and of 3. And then on the 4th card, what we're doing is we're shifting that kick drum back to the and of 2. So this is probably the most strugglesome point for beginning drummers. A lot of drummers will play the second card position on accident when trying to learn this. Thank you, Nathaniel, dude. You're on the fly over there, buddy. I'm serious, dude. I was having a blast at our lesson yesterday. All right. So this one's the trippy one that most people struggle with a little bit. And it's a simple switch from going from this beat, which is number 2, okay, to playing that end of 2, which is, okay. It's a very simple idea, and what I've found out is once students can get past this position, we're able to move pretty quickly because it starts to lock in the mind what we're actually supposed to be doing and how the notes are shifting. Okay, so we kind of start progressing through lesson 1 like that, and then in lesson 1 we get to spreading out the ideas, which you know how to play these kick drum beats. Yeah, that's what I want right there, Nicholas. So when you can't remember how it's supposed to go, and sometimes we're reading stuff and we don't quite interpret it, that's what the videos are there for. I think it's a good visual and audible aid for these cards. So, all right, then we get into lesson 2, or we got color-coded drum heads, or note heads for the drum fills. So I like this. This is probably one of my favorite parts for it because it helps you visualize the movement around the drum set versus those just plain black notes where you kind of almost get like, it's almost like a blur sometimes. But this really helps with positioning. So we have our snare drum, which is the blue, and then our small tom, which is the green. Our orange is going to be our mid tom, and then our purple is going to be our floor tom. Okay, very simple. Okay, and then what we do, my favorite part about the flashcards in lesson 2 is we start incorporating some new positions on these fills, right? This is one of my favorite ones. Instead of playing the 4s like we just did on the floor or around the tom roll, we're doing a similar pattern, but we're breaking it up into 2s, okay? Can you pop snare? Do a pop snare groove? What do you mean? Talking about the... Are you talking about like just that typical, because to me pop is always like... That what you kind of going for there, Jesus? Or is it Jesus? Sorry. But real quick on this tom fill, this is why I like this one, because we start taking the standard tom roll and breaking it up into patterns. And what we're trying to do here with this system is develop your creativity and show you how we can start moving things around. So here we're going to take it into 2s like this. Okay, we're taking away from the, and we're going to start bringing it into some more combinations, okay? And as we progress through the lessons, we start breaking up the toms into different patterns, and then we start combining patterns so that you start developing the creativity and the understanding of how we can take these simple little patterns and put them into each little area. So in count 1, we're going to play a grouping of 4. And then if we go into count 2, we'll play a grouping of 3 that might linger into the count of, or into the 3rd count. And then we kind of finish off with maybe like a grouping of 4 or a grouping of 6. We start kind of positioning these ideas and you start seeing it. And then at the end of the lesson course, you get an 8-measure drum solo by taking, I don't think it's all the cards, because what did we, I got 7 lessons, there's 14 cards, so we take 8 of those, and I created a drum solo that I thought was really cool, and you can really mix and match these in any order. It goes from, and we start learning about linear drum fills too, with you putting those kick drums in the positions as well. Okay, you know what I mean? So that's the beauty of this flashcard system. I really like it, and I like to see what students do with the idea. And a lot of times in my lessons, we play a little game with the kids, and I just have them pick the cards from the lessons they know just randomly, and they have to play it. and then we switch them around, and we got to play that. And then I start adding cards as they play. So as they're reading 2 cards, I start throwing while they're reading the last card. I put the card on the front end. They have to kind of start sight reading, and it challenges you to grasp and adapt quicker. And actually, let me get into. I'll show you why I like the cards and how we can get into the phrasings with them. Okay, so basically, this is the most common drum phrase you'll ever hear in your life. Okay, it is. You've heard it in literally every song. And Jesus, it's pop music. It's literally just. Okay, that is the drum beat of all drum beats, in my opinion. And even in lesson 5, we'll start splashing the hi-hat on that and of 4 in that. So going like. Okay, we really get into developing your playing in this set of flashcards. And this is only level 1. Level 2 will take you to a very, very strong playability leading into that intermediate aspect. And even some might call some of it advanced. But the way I structure it and stack the concepts, you will understand it very easily. Okay, so this is what's cool about these cards. We're going to go to this next. It's going to use 3 cards. And you can see that we play. The numbers on the top indicate the measure that it is. So we have the first measure, then we go to the second measure, and then we jump back over to that first card for the third measure, and then we jump all the way to that last fill card for a 4-measure phrase. Are you talking about in the flashcards, Jesus? Is there one with the snare being hit more than the kick drum? Or are you talking about the pop groove? Because if you, I'll get into actually. So, I'll get if you. I'm trying to figure out how to go. I don't want to lose my thought here, but I'll get into some more snare drum placement from lesson 2 in these cards right now, which is really cool. So I'll play this one real quick so you understand how to move. I'm trying to look at the camera. It's backwards. You got this one, or sorry, this one, this one, this one, and then we're gonna jump all the way back over for a drum fill. Okay. Okay, so that's how you would create a 3-card phrase that adds up to 4 measures, and you can even add a third drum beat in there to make it a continuous 4-card phrase. You know what I mean? Or 4 measures. All right, so let's jump over here. I got some extra phrasings from lesson 1. You got 6 and 3 over here, which this is a really cool beat I like. Damn, Sabaton. Yeah, no worries. Yaz, I got you. Sabaton. I haven't listened to Sabaton in forever, dude. Somebody was telling me to listen to that. It was it's kind of like what kind of metal is that? Not like Viking metal, but it's got that sound like that, right? All right, but let's continue on. So we're going to take that same idea, and now because we're progressing into the second half of lesson 1, we would take that beat and use the tom roll card, okay? So play it like this. Okay? Very simple in lesson 1. Anyone can grasp this first concept really easily. It's very, once you learn your first drum beat and you start seeing where the counts are, it really starts to make sense, okay? So, and trying to see, Jesus, I'm going to have to listen to some Sabaton. If you join me on the next stream, I'll have something for you. Yeah, I'm going to have to listen to that, what's it called? You said the Red Baron. I'll have to listen to that when we're done. All right, but look, like we were talking about progressing the system here. Yeah, it's really cool, Yaz, dude. Yeah, Jesus, actually what I'll do is I'll make a note and I will rehearse it for you, or I'll rehearse it so that I could show you and break it down for you, and I'll show you how to practice things. A lot of times when we're practicing something, I break it down into either lesser coordination or shorter phrasing. So if you're trying to practice like a 2-measure phrasing, we'll try to get the first measure first. And if you're having trouble with the first measure, we'll break it down into half the measure. And I'll keep going as little as I can until we can start piecing it together more and more. It's just a big puzzle of coordination and rhythm, okay? All right, but this in lesson 2, this is a lesson 2 phrasing. And if you can see the second card on here, we have snare drums on not just the 2 and the 4, but the and of 1 and the and of 4. We're starting to add this. Let me go to lesson 2 real quick. It's actually really cool. You've heard these beats as well. Everything is very, very common here in the early stages, but it's for a good reason. So if we look at lesson 2, we're just adding those. The very first card you learned was this drum beat. So in lesson 2, all we're doing is adding those extra snares to the and of 2 and the and of 4. So you got this. Okay, very simple concepts, but they play a huge role in how we progress on the drums and know our note placements and develop that coordination to be able to move our body and hear the things that we're trying to, or to play the things that we hear in our head. Okay, and you've heard that in like almost like, I want to say like 60s stuff. I feel like my things. Oh, bucket drumming, man. I'm in Vegas, bro. This is like bucket drumming central over here on the strip. But if you've heard this thought, oh, Serge, yeah, man. I know you're probably having troubles with the broadcast or the connection and stuff. So yeah, I got you, dude. So you've heard these common drum beats and a lot of, I want to say it's like 60s music. It was like, I don't even know what you would call it, but it has that. So it's basically that drum beat, but we're just breaking it down a little slower into a rock form, okay? But let's get back to those 2-measure phrasings, right? Because we're going to break it. And I get into a lot of stuff in this lesson, or the flashcard course. It's literally 60 cards, and they're all interchangeable. So if we look at these right here, we're playing lesson 1 on the first card, lesson 2 on the second card. So it goes like this. Okay, really cool interchangeable concept here. All right, and let's do this now. Take these same 2 cards, and we're going to space or add that flat or the fill card in there. Okay, so let's play that. All right, so it's a really cool way to develop. We take that new drum fill and mix it with our new lesson 2 concepts while still mixing the lesson 1 in there as well. So you're starting to take everything from the very first card that you learn, we're combining it with other concepts. So you know everything that you're learning has a purpose. You're not learning random drum fills and drum grooves and learning how to put this kick drum note here or this one over here. We're learning in a very structured way, and it helps you progress. And it's funny, as I watch some of my students progress, when they goof around or kind of I let them go, I'm very big on letting my students go off on the drums, get creative, do some crazy stuff, even if you think it's wrong. There's no wrong here. We're trying to develop creativity. You start seeing as they progress through the system that even when they're messing around or playing some crazy stuff, they're starting to develop more rhythm. And even when they don't realize it, they're playing something really cool that relates to something that we learned. It's very interesting. And Jesus, of course I've heard of Alice DePario, man. He's like the drummer on the internet, dude. He's badass, though, by the way. All right, so yeah, we progress into a lot of stuff in this system. We really get into some cool drum fills. We get into a lot of snare drum rhythms, which I like that part because snare drumming is the heart of this kit, in my opinion. You could do a lot of stuff on the snare drum and move it around to the whole kit. So you got... Okay, a lot of cool stuff, dude. So guys, if you want to check them out, they are available on Amazon. Check the link in the description. And yeah, dude, I've had a blast here today on the stream. We're going to keep working on this, getting this stream more crazy, do some wild shit on here. I want to get you guys learning as much stuff on the drums as you can. So any questions you guys have, I'm here to answer them, help you break stuff down. And next week, we're going to push some tempos. I'm going to get my speed back up. I haven't had a lot of time to practice these days, so I'm really trying to get that speed back up to those like 220, those death metal speeds. But yeah, dude, Yaz, man, appreciate it, dude. Glad you like it. So Serge, man, hopefully your broadcast gets a little better on the next run. And Jesus, thanks for joining in. Nicholas, thanks so much. Nathaniel, dude, appreciate you coming out, buddy. And guys, thanks again. I will be out next week, hopefully Tuesday, if not for sure Thursday. I'm trying to get to more streams and whatnot. I will be looking at other platforms too, so I'm trying to kind of shift the schedule around and make this a little bit more of a full-time situation here. But thank you all again for coming out, and I will see you guys next time. Well, I got to go do – oh, where's your stream at, bar? I got you, dude. All right, see you, Nathaniel. I will see you guys all next week. Thanks again.